Well, guys, we're living in a very, very crazy world where leftists are actually targeting your children. These leftists, even in Hollywood, they really have an agenda to go after your children and transition them. And if you don't actually want to do that for your kid, they're calling you out. Now, there's actually been state lawmakers that have actually put in place laws now to actually ban experimental stuff on children, to actually transition them into the opposite sex. Even though we all know, folks, that me as a man, I can never, ever be a woman. No matter what is in my mind, I cannot physically be a woman. I don't have a womb. I don't have ovaries. I don't have any of that. Biology is a real thing. But when it comes to the left, when it came to the jab, they said, listen to the science. But these people don't believe in science. They believe in an agenda. It is an agenda. Now, we've done videos on Dwayne Wade, who is actually Gabrielle Union's husband. The man is lost. He's lost. His son now is legally a girl, even though his son is a biological male. This is the kind of crazy world we're actually living in now, folks, where you actually even have judges and lawmakers signing off on this stuff. We are definitely a divided country, especially when it comes to this stuff right here. I mean, the left wants you to think like probably 75% of kids out there are trans, and it's just not the case. And they want you to go out there and transition children because, I guess children are so mature, they can actually make life-altering decisions that they could actually come to regret. I don't believe any kid, and by the way, Dwayne Wade's kid, that's not even Gabrielle Union's kid. The biological mother actually tried to put a stop to all of this. And guess what? Apparently she has no rights whatsoever. Apparently Gabrielle Union has more say on what actually happens with Dwayne Wade's son than the biological mother. This is how crazy this world has now become. Well, Tennessee, you guys may have actually heard this. Governor Bill Lee in Tennessee, they actually have a law now in place that you cannot transition children. You cannot pump your kids full of this experimental stuff. Guys, I do believe that transgenderism is a mental illness. It is. But unlike other mental illnesses, we don't actually treat the mental illness. We enable all this. I mean, think of this. If somebody's actually hearing a bunch of voices in their head and they go to the doctor, is the doctor going to say, that's okay, you can go ahead and believe that the voices in your head are real? Go ahead. That's crazy, right? Then why do we actually do this with transgenderism? You go into the doctor, and as a man, you say, you know what, I feel like a woman. And the doctor just says, you know what, you are a woman. That's what they're doing, folks. I've heard in some cases that they have one session with a doctor. 40 minutes, they sign off on transitioning children. Yeah, they just met this kid like 30 minutes ago, and they're signing off on this. That is dangerous, guys. That is really, really dangerous. Now, Gabrielle Union, who is super woke, she's actually now gave a warning to Governor Bill Lee. Look here on Breitbart. Gabrielle Union warns Tennessee Governor Bill Lee over transgender child law. You're in for a rude awakening. Yeah, because she wants to go after children. Don't listen to any of these Hollywood people for any moral judgment. Hollywood seems to have no morals. Only the woke leftists are actually pretty vocal. The moderates, the conservatives in Hollywood, they're usually pretty quiet. I think they actually need to be vocal. But we know how Hollywood works is actually a risk for them because they can actually end up losing their career. But let's go ahead and check this out, guys. It says here, Hollywood star Gabrielle Union has issued a warning to Tennessee Governor Bill Lee and other governors who have sought to prohibit transgender medical procedures for children. Quote, people are not going to take this line down. They're just not. So if you thought this was going to be a cakewalk, you're in for a rude awakening, the Bring It On actress told Variety on the red carpet of the Independent Spirit Awards on Saturday. I don't even know what that award show is. These award shows are just dead. Now, Gabrielle Union at the NAACP Marx's Awards. I'm shocked, man. That crowd, mostly of black people. And of course, it's Hollywood, by the way. They all are clapping because Gabrielle Union is just spreading a bunch of lies out there that black trans people are being hunted down every day. Sounds like LeBron James, you know. There's no evidence that that is happening on a wide scale. Now, from what I actually understand from the data, I believe like last year, when it came to like trans people dying, it was like 30, 40 total. 30, 40 total. Now, if you actually go by the data, true trans people only represent about 0.05% of the population. So let me do some quick math here real quick. Some very quick math. That's what, 330 million people here in this country, roughly. And if you go by 0.05, you're going to have what? A little over 1.5 million total. I don't even know if the number's that high, but something like that. Okay? So let's just say it is 1.6 million total. About 30 of them died. But she says that trans people are being hunted down in the streets. It's that same narrative, you know, because she actually tried to intertwine black people and LGBT alphabet people all together. I hate it when leftists do that, but they always do that. The numbers just don't add up. They do the same thing with black people. Black people represent 12, 13% of the population. And they always say that black people are being hunted. But the data says that the police are less likely to engage in any type of physical altercation with a black person. When they said that all these black people were dying at the hands of police, I believe it was like year before last, it was something like 20. Something like that. And then numbers kind of fluctuate. It's such a small number. And we know that in the vast majority of all these cases, that these people were actually engaged in criminal activity. George Floyd was actually engaged in criminal activity. He was. It's unfortunate he died, but he was actually engaged in criminal activity and he resisted arrest. The same thing with Jacob Blake. Jacob Blake was on the ground fighting the police. We got video on that. We got video on it. He had a knife. And they decided to burn down cities over Jacob Blake. Yeah. The leftists, they just lie right here. Now, getting back to this. I can't think of any parent out there that truly wants to transition their kids. And I believe it's a growing trend. The left is probably pretty calculated with all this. When it comes to the drag shows, the propaganda, Joe Biden himself wants you to go all out to transition your children. He has put that out there. And some of these drugs that they're pumping these kids with, it's irreversible. Some of these kids, because they actually don't mature physically, they don't go through puberty because they put them on all these puberty blockers. It's not normal. It's not normal. And then they have side effects. They have no feeling, no sexual feeling whatsoever. Who wants to live like that? But it's the adults that are responsible for this. And Gabrielle Union, all these other woke people in Hollywood, do not listen to them. Do not listen to them. I'm not even sure Dwayne Wade's kid has even been put on any type of puberty blockers. I don't think so. I mean, the kid is 15 and still looks like a boy. Essentially, what I believe is they're really just cross-dressing this kid. Even though legally now, by the law, this is supposed to be a girl. I don't think Dwayne Wade has put his kid on any type of hormones or something like that. But they want you to do it. In Tennessee, other states, they're trying to put a stop to this stuff. That stuff is dangerous, man. It is dangerous. But Gabrielle Union is out of her mind. Dwayne Wade's son, that's not her. That's not her kid. But when it comes to the biological mother, she has no say. The biological mother has no say whatsoever. And I truly do believe that Gabrielle Union is the reason for the way Dwayne Wade is now. Dwayne Wade is lost. He's not actually wearing the pants of his family. Because when his kid said, hey, you know what? I feel like I'm a woman, a girl. You know what Dwayne Wade did? He went to some alphabet people on a set of pose. Yeah, that's the advice he got. That's his research right there. He listened to other woke people for advice. And now he's in the situation he's actually in right now. It's pretty sad, guys. It is sad. Gabrielle Union is pathetic. Really, really pathetic here. And it's sad that, she's pushing this stuff. Very, very sad. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and White Network fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.